All right. Hello, everyone. It is Monday, August 5th. And yes, I'm putting a video out today to kind of make up for not putting a video out on Saturday. This is the topic I wanted to cover. However, the way that the whole point slotting system had originally been explained, not only to me, but to many others, was very, very confusing. And so I shot the video, I posted the video, and it turned out that there was some incorrect information. Caught it right away, pulled it. So for I think there was like 30 of you who ended up watching. My apologies. Disregard that. This is correct and updated information on the slotting system to explain it a little bit better, how it works with planning your roster, and also how it works in conjunction with a player's status, whether they be rookie, pro, or veteran. That's what we're used to seeing. Well, this is going to kind of complement that, but it's also going to go a little bit deeper. All right, so initially, in talking with some people online, I said, oh, Carolina is in trouble. I thought league points were getting added together. And so I was like, yeah, Carolina's way over the cap. No, not true. We're going to explain that in just a second. So, the basics here. First, if you look in this corner, this is the key right here. These are the points that you get assigned depending on your highest level of experience. Okay, using a couple of examples here. Gus Ford, highest level of play, SPHL, under 100 games. So he is a 2. All right. Justin McDonald, Columbus River Dragons. Okay, he has 176 games experience of ECHL play. He's an 8. All right. Let's see. Connor Green, goaltender for the the Blue Ridge Bobcats. All right. He just had FPHL last year. No, wait. Did he get called up? Okay, I gotta think now for a minute. Okay, let's go Connor McAnanama because I know that this is for sure. Binghamton Black Bears goaltender just had his year in the Fed. He's a 1. All right, he's under 100 games played. So anyway, that's how points get assessed. It's not it's not your Fed experience plus your SP experience plus. It's not that way. It's not all added together. All right. Um, so it's just the highest level of play only. Now, the only exceptions are, from what I understand, is if a player is a veteran, has played over 250 games in the Fed, maybe they have 5 games of experience in the SP, they would default to the 3 rather than the 2. All right. Um, that's about the only exception. All right. But so really, the most any particular person can have is 8 points, unless, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit. You have 5 games or more of experience from the AHL. Yeah, I'm not kidding. 25 points. And the reason why that is that way is because, okay, the league is named the Federal Prospects Hockey League. All right, this is a league to develop prospects to move them up, not to have castoffs come down. All right, the main reason why this system was implemented was to try and discourage the usage of unofficial monies, shall we say. Okay, again, I've mentioned this before in other videos. Every team in the Fed pays some money under the table. All right. And I don't know Justin McDonald's situation. I'm just using this as a hypothetical, so please don't say that this is what I said. The situation is with McDonald. It's not. I'm just making this up. All right. Um, okay. The maximum salary for a player is $250 a week. So, um, McDonald might get that plus perhaps the Columbus River Dragons, say, hey, we're going to pay you an extra $300 a week to go out on special outings to help promote the team. I'm not saying that that's what's happening, okay? I'm just using that as an example. I'm not picking on the Columbus River Dragons here because, again, every team in the Fed does that. All right, there's money under the table. It's an unsavory fact. All right, so it the other reason for the AHL experience being 25 points. If you're in the AHL, you've been playing in the AHL for a couple of years. You're making at least $50,000-$60,000 a year. Why would you suddenly say, hey, I think I'll go play in this lower level league, the FPHL, and make $250 a week? All right. That's why the point system is in place, to keep teams from getting an unfair advantage and, unsavory uh, payments and whatnot. So, anyway, that's why we have the system. The goal of the system is to try and discourage uh, players from coming down the ladder. We want players going up the ladder. That is the FPHL by design. All right. And sub point, just going to say this real quick, and this is not a dig on anyone in the league. Okay. I'm just saying this just from purely a factual standpoint. Okay, the SP is a level above the Fed. Now, I know I said in the past, and I still believe this, the gap of talent has been shrinking, but the SP is still a higher league. All right, so that's why there's more points for SP experience than for Fed experience. All right, the SP is the way up the ladder. Okay, you have from the bottom rung FPHL, SPHL, ECHL, AHL, NHL. There you go. All right, so looking at two teams that don't have 19 players signed on their roster yet. Okay, I'm just using this as an example. Okay, Carolina Thunderbirds, and I sent you guys specifically, Thunderbird fans, uh, uh, a video clarifying the Thunderbird situation. You got 17 players on the roster right now listed. Now, almost everybody, 12 of the 17, their highest level of experience is under 100 games SP, which is 2. 2 times 12, 24. Okay. Their total points, the whole team right now, is 34. Now, these points do not go into effect until opening day for the regular season. Okay, right now, your roster is to help build your team. You're putting together a team. Right before your first game, you cut down to the 19 player cap, and in those 19 players, you've got to have 50 points or less. So, still, it's a good idea to start planning now. You got two months to go. All right, for Athens, all right, they have 15 signed on their roster right now, or not necessarily signed. They have 15 listed on their roster. Okay, all those points added together is 30. So, you know, they've got to be a little careful. They have 3 players on their roster with ECHL experience. They have Joseph Kolatarsi. They have Josh Keplinger right now. They have Carter Shinkarik. So there's 12 points right there, 3 players. So you got to be careful with how many players with ECHL experience you put in there. Um, just to clarify, because it just entered my mind, interjection. Um, okay, there are a couple players that have a couple games AHL experience, like Taylor Joseph for Danbury Hat Tricks. It's 2 games. He doesn't cross that 5 game played threshold, so he's not going to be 25 points. He's going to be, I believe, he's listed at the 8. It would. I'm going to have to double check on that though. So anyway, um, so there you go. So that's an explanation as far as where we're at. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow something from my mentor, the hockey guy. If you watch him, you know occasionally he does panic indexes. So this is my panic index. If you're up here, yeah, you're doing well with planning for the point slotting cap. You're ahead of the curve. You don't have anything to worry about. You're not going to be exceeding the cap. You're here. You're yeah, you might be starting to kind of push the envelope a little bit. You got to be careful. If you're down here, you're very close. We're 2 months away from the regular season, and you're already very close from with your probable starters. You really, really, really need to be careful. So that's where we rank everything on here. So I'm going to go through all 15 teams, or 14 teams, excuse me, 14, and we're going to do a panic index. All right, so first is Athens, and I have them kind of in the middle here because, again, they're already at 30. No guarantee that the 15 players that they have on their roster right now are all going to sign. I know Martinson likes experienced guys, but he's got to be very careful with that in this league. Yeah, I kind of have them in the middle here. Okay, next we have the Baton Rouge Zydeco. I get to use all my magnets. Zydeco up here. Um, right now, um, they have 2 players with 3 points. That's MJ Graham and Edgar Zoslich. Okay, they have so many rookies listed on the team right now. They're not going to have any problem at all fitting under the 50-point cap. So Baton Rouge goes there. Next, Binghamton Black Bears. You think that they'd have to be careful with, the team that won last year, but they did it with a lot of rookies. So they're also up here. All right. They have, if he returns, Don Alveri is a 4. All right. Tyson Kirkby, Gavin Yates, they're 2 each. There's a lot of 1s and 2s on the team. And if you break it down, 19 players on your roster, that means each player, by average, can have 2.63 points per game. I think I wrote that down somewhere. Maybe I didn't. Okay, if I didn't, I should have. 2.63, that's the magic number. So if you have a bunch of 2s, you're all right. If you have 3s and 4s, then you got to start counting. You have to be careful. All right, next, the Blue Ridge Bobcats. All right, let's see their notes here. Okay, I'm going to have them kind of in the middle. I don't really have a lot of room here. They're not really here, but they're not up here either. They do have Zach Tavern worth 4 points. They have a couple of 3s on the team. So, like, I counted 3 players where they have 10 points. So, okay, so it's 40 points divided by 16. So, I think they're going to be okay because they have a lot of rookies, but still. All right, next, Hudson Valley. No, not Hudson Valley. I'm out of order. Okay, well, Carolina. We talked about Carolina. They're fine. They're fine. No need to revisit there. Columbus. They're kind of about right here. They're not all the way down here, but 8 points already taken up by McDonald. So that leaves you with 42 points for the rest of your team. And if Petrangelo and Daw come back, could be kind of tight with the roster. So, they're kind of down there. All right. The Danbury hat tricks. I'm going to put them kind of in the middle. All right. They have Steve Brown. They have Taylor Joseph. Again, I didn't get clarification exactly how many points he is, but he's not. I think he's going to be a 4 or 8. And Brown is 4. So you got to be careful. They have a lot of rookies signed or on the roster, so I think they'll be okay. All right, Dashers, kind of down here. They have Browson. That's 3 points. It's all Fed experience, but it's 3 points there because he has over 300 games played. You have Brad Denny. He's got ECHL experience. Brody Duncan, if he signs, he's got over 100 games of SPHL experience. So there's 4. So there's 10 points already gone. Excuse me, 11 points actually. So 39 points among 16 players. So you gotta watch carefully. Next is Hudson Valley. All right, and where did I have my notes on Hudson Valley? Okay, they're gonna be fine. They're all right. You have Cam Yarwood. If he signs, he's 4 points. Everybody else is 2 points or less. They're in a very similar situation as Binghamton as far as points. Really don't have to worry about them too much. Next, the Mississippi Seawolves. All right, their roster has been in flux, but looking at what they have right now, they're fine. They're fine. They have Justin Barr, 4 points, and again, a bunch of 2s. So they'll be all right. All right. Philip Wong, he's 2 points. Sam Turner is 2 points. They've got lots of room on the cap. All right. Then we have the Monroe Moccasins. And then I'm going to put down I'm going to put them about here. Okay. Kind of in the middle. All right. Molovac, 4 points there. But who wouldn't want Molovac on their team? He's a great veteran leader, great tutor to younger players. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the 4 points. But you also have Jake Schultz, another 4 points with ECHL experience. So, 2, that's 8 points already gone. You got 17 players left to fill the roster. Gotta watch it. Motor City, they're up top here. And I'd run out of room on top. Motor City, they've done a great job with having veteran FPHL players or players with a little bit of SPHL experience. But, all these players are very experienced, but they don't break the bank, so to speak, with their experience. Cody Karpinski right now, top point man on the team with 4 because he's got ECHL experience. Giuliano, he's an FPHL veteran. He's got 3 points. Everybody else is 3 or 2 or lots of 1s. So they're fine. Watertown Wolves, I think you have to put them kind of in the middle because they do have 2 players with ECHL experience. Tate Leeson, it's only 2 games, but it counts. So he's a 4. So is Ludlow Harris Jr. So it's something you got to be careful about. One team I do think needs a panic. We're putting them on the bottom. Port Huron. They're the last team that we're listing. went out of order with Watertown, Port Huron. But anyway, um, yeah, Port Huron. You've got where did I miss it? You have Mitch Jones, 8 points, over 100 games ECHL experience. You have Schumacher, 4 points ECHL experience. You have a ton of players with three because of long experience in the FPHL. Dalton J, Matt Graham, Alex Johnson, those are all threes. That's added up real quick. 5 players, and you're already at 12, 21. So, yeah. Uh, Port Huron's really got to watch things very, very closely. So they're the only team that I think you have to kind of go, are they going to be okay? Um, they're going to have to get creative. They're going to have to be very creative over the next 2 months to make sure that they are able to fit under the 50 points. Um, it's doable, but it's going to be a challenge. So there you go. There's the panic index for this point system. Um, so there you go. I hope my explanation was clear enough. If you have any questions, leave comments down below. I'll do my best to try and clarify on any questions you might have. Also, comment, let me know what you think about the system. Is it fair? Is it not fair? Do you understand why the league is doing it? Do you think it's unnecessary? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Make sure you're following me here on YouTube, on Facebook, and now also on Spreaker. We're going to have a Spreaker um, a podcast, which I will link into Facebook on Thursday, audio only. So it's going to be a full week. Tomorrow, I'm going to do the usual Facebook Live. We'll talk about some of the news of the week, some of the big news items that happened over the weekend, and trades, things like that. And then Thursday we'll be on Spreaker, kind of a midweek report, and then we'll be back here on YouTube next weekend. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support. Appreciate it. I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash.